All right, so welcome to another deep dive. And today we're going to get into something pretty interesting.
Yeah.
The chosen one. Have you ever heard of that concept?
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to be using a YouTube video by Ms. Mizwaki Tancredi.
Okay.
And she sort of breaks down 5 experiences of people who feel like they've been chosen by like a higher power.
Interesting.
It's really fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it applies to a lot of people, even if they don't feel chosen by a higher power.
Yeah.
Maybe they just feel like they've got a special purpose or something.
Yeah, some kind of destiny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So have you ever felt that way?
I think everyone's had those moments where they've kind of felt like there's something more to life.
Yeah.
Some bigger purpose they're meant to fulfill.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm interested to see what Tancredi has to say about this.
Yeah, so she starts off with this really interesting idea of isolation as preparation.
Okay.
Which is not about being rejected, but being set apart for something bigger. And she actually gives the example of the story of David.
Oh, yeah.
Where, he was anointed as a future king.
Right.
Spent years in the wilderness hiding from Saul before he actually became king.
Right. Facing all those challenges and obstacles really shaping him into the leader he needed to be.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just a biblical concept either, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you see this in the hero's journey archetype.
Oh, yeah.
Across mythology and literature, like Luke Skywalker on Tatooine or Harry Potter stuck with the Dursleys.
Right.
These periods of isolation are like crucibles, right? Yeah. Forging strength and resilience.
It really makes you think about times in our own lives when we felt alone or misunderstood.
Yeah.
What if those were actually periods of intense growth?
Oh, that's interesting.
Even if we didn't recognize it at the time.
Yeah, I like that reframing. It's like, instead of seeing isolation as like a punishment or a failure,
right?
What if we saw it as an opportunity for like introspection and self-discovery, a chance to really hone those skills and character traits that are going to serve us later?
It makes you think about the concept of grit, that ability to persevere through tough times.
Absolutely.
Maybe those periods of isolation aren't meant to break us, but to build that inner strength.
I think that's a really powerful way to look at it.
Yeah. And then she goes on to her next point, which kind of builds on this idea of preparation. She talks about chosen ones often having really vivid dreams.
Okay.
And like even prophetic dreams.
Interesting.
Like they're not just random firings of neurons.
Yeah.
But messages, insights, maybe even glimpses into the future.
Makes you wonder about the power of the subconscious mind.
Right.
We spend all day processing information, making decisions, experiencing emotions, and then at night, it's like all of that gets filtered and sorted in our dreams.
Yeah.
So what if those dreams are trying to tell us something?
Like trying to give us clues or something.
Exactly. It's like our subconscious mind is working on problems while we sleep. And those dreams are a way of communicating those solutions back to our conscious mind.
Have you ever woken up from a dream and felt like you had some kind of insight or breakthrough?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think we all have.
Yeah.
Maybe that was your inner guidance system at work.
Yeah, it's like our intuition or something trying to speak to us.
Exactly.
And it does give it kind of a sense of mystery, right?
Yeah, for sure. But also a really fascinating opportunity.
Like if we paid closer attention to our dreams, could we unlock some hidden potential?
That's a cool thought.
Or tap into some deeper level of wisdom?
I love that. Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes you think.
So her third point kind of challenges a common trope.
Okay.
She says, chosen ones aren't these like lone wolves rejected by society.
Right.
But instead they actually attract favor and support.
Interesting.
People are drawn to them, want to help them and see their potential.
It's almost like there's a self-fulfilling prophecy at play, right?
Yeah.
If you believe you're special, destined for great things, you carry yourself differently. That confidence and sense of purpose can be incredibly attractive to others.
Right. And it's not even just about charisma.
Right.
It's also about being in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people.
Synchronicity.
Yeah. Maybe those who believe they're chosen are just more attuned to those opportunities.
Or maybe their belief in themselves creates those opportunities.
That's interesting.
If you believe you're meant for something, you're more likely to take risks, put yourself out there, attract the support you need to succeed.
It makes me think about self-efficacy. That belief in your own ability to achieve goals.
Absolutely.
Maybe people who feel chosen just have like a heightened sense of self-efficacy.
It's possible.
And that empowers them to accomplish things that other people might not even attempt.
Yeah, that's a really interesting perspective.
It's definitely more empowering than the traditional image of the chosen one as like a lonely outsider.
I agree.
Yeah, maybe it's not about being different or better than others, but about embracing your own unique gifts
Yeah,
and using them to make a positive impact on the world.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, me too.
So Tancredi's next point is really interesting. She talks about this idea that chosen ones are unstoppable.
Oh,
They might stumble, they might fall, but they always get back up,
right.
often stronger than before.
Like that saying, fall 7 times, stand up 8.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about that resilience, that refusal to give up, no matter how many obstacles you face. And she connects that directly to this belief in being chosen.
Okay.
It's like having this unwavering faith that you're meant for something, that you have a purpose.
Right.
And that fuels this incredible inner strength.
It makes me think about those times when I've faced like setbacks or disappointments.
Yeah,
It's easy to get discouraged and feel like giving up.
for sure.
But there's something powerful about remembering those times when you did push through,
Absolutely.
when you found that inner strength to keep going.
And there's a growing body of research on resilience. You know how people develop that ability to bounce back from adversity? Some of it comes from our upbringing, our environment,
Right.
but a lot of it comes from our mindset, from our beliefs about ourselves and our ability to overcome challenges.
So if someone doesn't believe in this idea of being chosen, can they still cultivate that kind of resilience?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
It's not about having some special divine power. It's about cultivating a belief in yourself,
Right.
in your ability to learn and grow and adapt.
Okay.
It's about developing coping mechanisms, having a support system,
Yeah.
learning to reframe challenges as opportunities for growth.
Oh, I love that. Reframing challenges as opportunities.
Yeah,
So it's not about avoiding the tough stuff, but changing how we view it.
exactly. And it's not just about achieving some grand destiny. Resilience is essential for everyday life,
Yeah.
for navigating those ups and downs
Oh,
that come
yeah.
with being human. It's what helps us get through a tough breakup, bounce back from a job loss,
Yeah.
or cope with the loss of a loved one.
It makes you realize that resilience isn't just some like mystical quality
Right.
reserved for superheroes or prophets. It's something we can all develop,
Absolutely.
and it's something that can make a real difference in our lives.
100%.
So Tancredi's final point is maybe the most intriguing.
Okay.
She argues that chosen ones have a heightened sense of intuition,
Interesting.
like almost a sixth sense.
Like they just know things.
Yeah, they're more attuned to subtle signals. They pick up on things that other people miss.
Right.
And they often have like a strong gut feeling about people and situations.
It's like they're operating on a different frequency, picking up information that's not readily apparent to the rest of us.
It makes me think about all those stories of people who had a hunch about something
Right.
and then it turned out to be true.
Exactly. And while some people might dismiss this as just coincidence or superstition, there's actually a lot of scientific research on intuition. Yeah, neuroscientists have found that our brains are constantly processing information subconsciously,
Okay.
picking up on patterns and making connections that we might not even be aware of.
So our gut feeling might actually be our subconscious mind sending us a message
Exactly.
based on all this data it's been gathering.
It's like our subconscious is saying, hey, pay attention. Something's not right here. Or this feels like the right path, even though I can't explain why.
It makes you wonder how often we ignore those subtle signals,
Right.
those whispers of intuition. We get so caught up in logic and reason
Yeah.
that we forget to listen to that inner voice.
And it's not about abandoning logic altogether.
Okay.
It's about finding a balance,
Right?
learning to trust our intuition,
Yeah.
while also using our critical thinking skills.
So it's like having two powerful tools at our disposal
Exactly.
and knowing when to use which one.
I like that analogy.
So how can someone develop their intuition? Is it something you're born with or can it be cultivated?
Well, while some people might be naturally more intuitive than others, there are definitely things we can do to strengthen that inner voice.
Like what?
Mindfulness practices, meditation, spending time in nature,
Okay.
all of these things can help us become more aware of our thoughts, our feelings, and our bodily sensations,
Right.
which in turn can make us more sensitive to those subtle, intuitive nudges.
So it's about quieting the mind,
Yeah,
reducing distractions, and creating space for that inner wisdom to kind of emerge.
exactly.
Yeah. It really is fascinating to think that we all might have that potential
Yeah.
for intuition.
It's like a hidden superpower or something that we haven't fully tapped into yet.
And you know what I think is really interesting is how Tancredi ties all these experiences together.
Right.
It's not just about being chosen in some predetermined, fated kind of way.
Right.
It's about recognizing the potential for greatness within ourselves.
Yeah.
And then actually doing the work to cultivate those qualities.
Yeah.
So it's not just sitting back and waiting for destiny to come knocking.
No, not at all.
It's about taking ownership, making choices.
Putting in the effort.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the real message here.
Right.
That these 5 experiences, the isolation, the vivid dreams, the resilience, the intuition, they're not just markers of being chosen.
Right.
They're actually signposts on the path to self-discovery and personal growth.
I like that a lot.
It makes you wonder if maybe we all have a bit of that chosen one archetype within us.
It's not about some external force choosing us,
Right.
but about us choosing to step into our full potential.
That's a really powerful way to look at it.
It takes this concept that could feel very exclusive
Right.
and makes it universally accessible.
What if we all started viewing ourselves as having a unique purpose,
Yeah.
as being capable of extraordinary things?
Imagine the possibilities.
It's almost like flipping the script on the hero's journey.
How so?
Well, instead of waiting for some external call to adventure.
Yeah. We become the heroes of our own lives. We're actively seeking out challenges, embracing growth.
Trusting our intuition to guide us.
Yeah. And maybe that's the true legacy of the chosen one archetype. It's not about being special or different from everyone else, but about recognizing that spark of potential within each of us.
Yeah.
And then fanning that spark into a flame.
I love that analogy.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive.
It really has.
Into this concept of the chosen one.
Yeah.
Exploring not just the mystical aspects, but also the very real and practical ways we can all cultivate these qualities in our own lives.
Big thanks to Ms. Mizwaka Tancredi for providing such thought-provoking material.
Absolutely. And to our listeners, as always, keep questioning, keep exploring, and never underestimate your own potential for greatness. Until next time, keep diving deep.